Makin's clay is packaged either in a box or that wrapper like the 60 gram, and then inside it is double wrapped. You would remove the outer wrapping, and then you have that cellophane. Now you could cut off only the amount that you're going to use, or you can go ahead and open the entire package like I'm going to do here. Either way, once it's open and you've removed this outer pack, I like to keep it in a Ziploc bag with either a moist towelette or a damp paper towel, and that will keep your clay fresh and ready to use for a long time to come. So now I have the brown clay out of the package, and I'm going to start with about a half a pack, and then I'll use the rest in a moment. To begin, now the clay is soft and ready to use right out of the package. You don't have to condition it first. It's ready to go. It's about a ½ inch thick block right out of the package, again, which is actually about the size that we're going to want it for our finished faux chocolates. But you could also just ball it up. Kind of smooth it out a little bit. And I'm just forming it to a brick about a ½ inch thick again with my hands. Don't worry about any edges like that. You just want a fairly smooth section in the middle like that. So you can see it's about a ½ inch thick. And then place it on your cutting mat. And then I'm using Makin's clay cutters to cut my individual chocolates. The cutters come in different sets, but they also come in sets of 3 graduated sizes, so there would be a smaller square here, and lots of different shapes. I'm using the largest and the medium-sized square from the 3-piece set and the medium-sized circle from the 3-piece circle set to make these chocolates. Once you have it about a ½ inch thick, a little tip to make your chocolates have a rounded edge and make them easy to remove from your cutter, and it also will smooth out any fingerprints that you may have on top, is just to place some plastic wrap over the top, and I kind of smooth it a little with my fingers. And then I'm going to take my clay cutter and place that on top, and then just push down through that layer of clay. And then you can see I can easily remove the extra clay, but I don't have to put my finger in here to remove my circle of clay. I can just pull it with that plastic wrap and remove off the plastic. I even like the way it kind of left a little teared away edge there. Kind of looks more like real chocolate, but you could also smooth that. Now these medium-sized cutters from this set happen to be the absolute perfect size to fit in this little container of Valentine chocolates that I purchased to use to hold our little Valentine magnets. You can see they fit right in. I'm going to show you a little trick on how I created this rectangular chocolate to fit in this side. Now I also wanted to make a little variation in my chocolates, so I have some that are this great milk chocolate, which is the original brown right from the package, and then I have some that are dark chocolate. To make the dark chocolate, I mixed the regular brown with a small amount of black, and you can vary the amount depending on the shade that you want, and I just blend them together and keep blending until they're thoroughly combined and you have that rich chocolate, dark chocolate shade. I finished mixing them together, and now I have this great dark chocolate shade of clay. I told you I'd show you how I made this rectangular chocolate, seeing that I started with a square cutter and a circle cutter and a smaller square. Again, I've hand molded it into about a ½ inch thick, and I'll take my plastic wrap and place it over the top and smooth, just to smooth out any fingerprints. We want our chocolates to look fresh from the factory, not like they've been tested by your family to see what flavor they are first with the poke test. And I'm taking that largest square and cutting down into it. I can remove that excess. I'm going to put that in my bag because I'm going to use that in a moment, but if I put it in this bag, it'll stay fresh. So I have a square, but I want a rectangle. So I'm just, again, going to use that same square cutter. See if I can move it so you can see a little bit better. And I'm just measuring over maybe 3/4 of an inch and recutting. If you have a rectangular cutter, of course, you can do that, but can also be done without. Remove my plastic wrap. And you can just push in any sides you need, and now you have a rectangular dark chocolate. I happen to have an oval cutter, so I did make one of my chocolates for these sections of my container in the oval shape too, so that we'd have a little more variety. So to add a little detail to the top of our chocolates, I'm using the Makin's Ultimate Clay Extruder. And I'm using disc number 8, which is a multi-hole disc. And for the dark chocolate, I used the brown, the straight brown. For the milk chocolate, I used that dark chocolate blend that we made with the black and the brown. And then this shade here is actually that natural clay. You just roll it to fit into the barrel of the extruder, and that just cranks back to allow the clay to enter. And insert it in the extruder, and then you place the disc that you want to extrude into the cap, and screw that on. And then you just turn the handle. It's easy to turn, and it begins to extrude your clay. I made lots of long strands. You would want to clean your extruder after you're finished. Always remove excess clay so that it's ready to go next time. Makin's is an air dry product. It's completely no bake, so you don't want to leave it in your extruder or it will air dry and cause you some issues later on. So once you have your delicate little strands of extruded clay, then I literally just Googled some photos of chocolates to kind of see the different designs that different manufacturers put on them. We could have referred to the original chocolates in our heart, but they got eaten so fast we didn't have them to refer to. So I just laid them over in whatever pattern you want. Fresh clay will stick to fresh clay without any additional adhesive. I just randomly added them until I had the different patterns that I wanted. Any extra clay that you've extruded that you don't need, again, put it in that Ziploc and it's ready for use later on. To turn our Makin's Clay chocolates into magnets, I'm using this great product by Deflecto. These are customizable magnetic sheets. They come in 3 sheets per pack, and you can die cut them with scissors, you can paint them, rubber stamp them. There's truly lots of options with these. I took 1 sheet, and then I traced my chocolates right onto it. You could also trace your cutters, but there's a very minimal amount of shrinkage with Makin's Clay once it's dry, so you would have to trim the magnet a little bit more after you mounted it. But I thought it was just as easy to trace my chocolates. And again, these Deflecto magnetic sheets can be cut with a scissor very easily. You can see how beautifully that goes through there. I'm going to cut around them big first. And then by tracing them, you also get any little indentation, or etc., so that they're really truly the size of your chocolate. This would be my rectangular chocolate here. I'm going to use Makin's 527 adhesive, which works fabulously with Makin's Clay, and apply that all over the surface of that magnet. And then just place my clay chocolate directly onto my magnet. So I placed my little chocolate magnets inside of my heart-shaped container. If your heart has those little paper holders, you can make your chocolates any size you want and obviously add more. But I thought this fun little 5-piece size would be a fun gift for friends or even somebody at work. You could put a little message inside here. or you could even decorate the outside of the box differently. And I think you could do some fun messages, I'm stuck on you, or I love your magnetic personality, or some other corny little phrase. But I think this would make a super fun gift for someone for Valentine's Day, for a friend especially, and they can put them on their refrigerator and have a little reminder of something sweet with no calories year-round. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make faux chocolates with Makin's clay. These would also make fun little keychains or even pendants for someone with a sweet sense of humor. Stay tuned for the next episode of Creatively Crafty with Cindi McGee for more creative ideas.